Why does it matter? Welcome to the Drunk Linux User. I'm Len. I am the Drunk Linux User, and I'm your plain talking Linux friend, helping you wade through all the techno babble and junk just to be able to use Linux and get you so firmly entrenched into it like you may have been with Windows or Mac. So, if you're a Linux creative and you want to get your link set up for either your DeviantArt, iTunes, or whatever page, watch this video up here, Time to Shine, and it has instructions on how to get that message over to me, and I will put it up on my website, and I'll even talk about you if I get a chance to on a video. All right, so if you like what you see here, please, hit likes, comment, notification bell, subscribe, yada, yada, yada. And let's get started with what I'm talking about today. Why is it so important? Yesterday, or the last video, depending on how you're watching these, I kind of went off on a rant about perception. And perception is very, very key to a lot of different things in our lives. And I was absolutely, I'm going to say appalled, okay? Just simply for the fact that whoever wrote the article that I referenced yesterday in the last show, they had to know what they were doing. And I thought that was very disingenuous, and I thought, well, somebody ought to speak up and say something about it. And why would I want to do that? Well, right now there's a lot of, like I mentioned before, some misconceptions about Linux. It's too hard. It's this, it's that. There's not enough people using it. There's not enough software. That may not be the reason why you started with Linux to begin with. You could have started Linux because maybe you're a hobbyist, okay? Maybe you've used Linux at college or professionally, or your hardware's too old and you couldn't put the newest version of Windows on, and the last version, maybe 7, for example, isn't supported anymore. Maybe your MacBook Pro won't run the old version anymore, and you can't get things done. You can't get the more updated software you need, whatever. Maybe you were curious. Maybe you just found yourself with nothing to do and you thought, what the heck, I'll give it a try. Developers use Linux and such. I've gone over some of this before. So anybody who is contemplating going to Linux should know that it's not just, something that a big company came together on and said, we're going to sell the crap out of this. Linux is free. Almost every single distribution that you're going to run across is free. You can put it on your computer. You can even change it the way you want to. You don't like the way something operates. If you're a programmer or if you're interested in it, you can go in there, you can tweak it, make it what you want to. You cannot do that with Windows, not with the operating system part of it. You can change how things operate, but that's on a program by program and a very limited sense in which you can do with the operating systems. And Mac, locked out, man, just locked out. So there's more to it than this. So why use Linux? Again, it's free. Revive an old computer. It's more safe and secure than what you're going to see with Windows and Mac. And considering how much information is being pulled from you, whether you like it or not, you have a better chance of staying safe with Linux. Why is this important? Okay, let's just say, for example, that somebody finds out or is able to get the information on your computer that maybe you had an operation. Well, this is something that maybe somebody with virus or spyware or something. This is going to be kind of short because we got a thunderstorm coming in, but maybe they find out that you had an operation and they sell it to big tech, and big tech talks to big medical, let's go with insurance companies, and you try to apply for insurance, and all of a sudden, if you want the insurance, your premiums are double, maybe even triple. This is information that you're supposed to voluntarily give if you want to, But maybe you didn't have that choice. Maybe you sent it in a Gmail, Google picked it up, sold it. I'm just saying maybe if, okay, because I don't know. I don't know. I'm not in that industry. Again, the customization, thousands of applications, so on and so forth. Top 20 reasons why you should use Linux, and this is by Udemy, by the way, which I thought was really cool. Again, good reasons for it. But one of the cool things, and this is from Make Use Of, why you might want to use Linux. Linux is an operating system built around a set of values. If you agree with those values, that alone can be ample reason to give Linux a go. But there are many pragmatic reasons to switch to Linux. Linux is freely available to anyone for any purpose. So are most of the apps. Unlike proprietary software, this is software you can actually take ownership over. This is what I was talking about before. So there's lots of different reasons why people move over to Linux, but in a world that's trying to suck you dry for all the information that they can get off from you, as long as you're just not freely giving it away by certain services, then I know that there could be an argument that says, well, the same thing can happen with Microsoft. Yes, but there's a lot of telemetry that goes to Microsoft. What do they do with that? Same thing with Mac. And unless you tell somebody like Canonical or whoever to go ahead and get this supposedly quote-unquote anonymous information off your computer, if you're very careful about what you're doing, that's not going to happen. Why is this important? Because of things like I talked about before, about possibly your medical history and other things that could be completely unnecessary for the rest of the world to know. And just saying, if you want your privacy and you want to live a life where you feel more comfortable, Linux is the way to go. Speaking of the values around Linux, the creator and developer of the modern Linux kernel, Linus Torvalds, has turned down offers from major corporations. If I'm not mistaken, I think he turned down a job offer from Microsoft, and I can't remember what the other one is right off the bat. But this is a guy who had the integrity to say, no, I'm not going to sell out. I'm going to create something special, unique, and I'm sure he's doing all right today, but he's not going around saying, you need to buy my kernel to run your Ubuntu, your Pop OS, your Arch system, your this or that or the other. This is a guy who stood on principles, and the community in general feels the same way. You should be able to do what you want with your computer and take ownership of this, not as a service, but as something you own. So, we're going to go back to our words of wisdom, and it's really starting to come down now. Don't drive drunk, don't drink and drive, don't go to eBay, Amazon, or use MS Edge shopping all buzzed up, thinking you're going to buy the latest, greatest, and coolest stuff. In the meantime, bottoms up, and later, dudes.